Oil prices shot up overnight but retracted following attacks in Iran, heightening fears of a potential escalation in the Middle East conflict. The heightened tensions in the Middle East threaten disruption of global oil supplies that could possibly push up prices and consequently inflation. High oil prices could lead to higher fuel prices, which would result in increased logistics costs in the economy.
Israel retaliating, sending some rockets through Damascus, to Iran, and I think we don't know what's happening. We went into this morning, oil price 3% up, gold price, touching close to that $2,400 levels again. But you can see the market is nervous. You mentioned it, the VIX, trading at very high levels. There's a very nice indicator. They call it the CNN, fear and greed indicator. That went from being in an extreme greed, I think about 2 weeks ago, now suddenly in a fearful scenario. But yeah, I think it's going to be a very, very interesting weekend. I hope there's no retaliation. I hope this quiet down. But unfortunately, the geopolitical environment we find ourselves in currently, I won't be too hopeful.
Economists say South Africa, as a small open economy, will be impacted by the rising geopolitical tensions.
International geopolitical tension, of course, has a huge impact on the South African economy. Obviously, things like, for example, commodity prices will be affected, but more importantly for South Africa is through the exchange rate. The South African currency, the rand, is a very volatile currency, and the rand can be seen as a barometer of international confidence and international stability. And what we've seen recently, because of this conflict, the rand has come under some tremendous pressure, and that, of course, will have an impact on inflation and eventually on things like, for example, interest rates as well. So unfortunately, the fact is that South Africa is a small open economy, and whatever happens internationally will affect the South African economy as well.
Meanwhile, gold prices went past $2,400 per ounce as investors flocked towards the metal, seen as a safe haven overnight amidst the rising geopolitical risks. The metal was trading at just over $2,377 this afternoon. Gloria Sefakomosi, SABC News, Johannesburg.